With Air Max Day behind us and 420 right around the corner, I thought it would be fun to break out two pairs of Dunk SBs that were part of Nike's unofficial 420 celebration in 2014. These are the Hacky Sack Dunk SB highs and lows, and they released alongside matching Janoski and Costin shoes as part of a 420 celebration that actually was a couple weeks late. These shoes released in early May, and it wasn't the first time that Nike SB had 420 shoes and then missed the date and released them later on. The other time that they did it was with the Cheech and Chong Dunk SB highs. They were supposed to be 420s. They were released a couple weeks later, and they were called Cinco de Mayos. I don't think Nike wants to publicly celebrate 420, so they have these 420 inspired shoes, and they sort of release them on the low. And this wasn't always the case. They had skunk SBs that are clearly marijuana inspired, and then they had the homegrown Air Max 90s and the whole hemp pack of Dunk SB lows. And these shoes were not as under the radar as the Hacky Sacks or the Cheech and Chongs. Let's have a look at these Hacky Sack shoes. Now, I remember when these shoes came out being blown away that Nike was charging more for the high top than the low top. This high top right here retailed for $108, and the low top is $98. And I remember thinking, man, like that's kind of expensive. And on Nike.com, they were saying that the high top was going to be $105, and then at the last minute, they just raised the price by $3. And I remember thinking, man, like $108, and they're raising the price at the last minute. Fast forward now, not even a year. The De La Soul high was $150, and the low that's coming out in a couple months is $135. So compare those prices. Now the high is $150 versus $108, and the low is $135 versus $98. Crazy inflation going on over at Nike SB, and really they're just trying to kill the reseller. They know that they're going to release the shoes, they're going to hit the resale market, they'll sell for much more money, so they're trying to capture as much of that as they can. I thought these were expensive, now they're getting even more expensive. Something that you'll notice about the high top is the gum midsole. Both of these pairs have gum outsoles, check that out right there, but only the high top has the gum midsole, which is a cool touch. It sort of matches this hemp-like going around the collar right here. Let's have a look all the way around. Nice looking shoes. I didn't pick up the Janoski or the Costin because I'm just not too keen on those silhouettes, but I had to pick up the Dunk SBs. Let's have a look at the low top right here. The low top has white midsoles versus the gum midsoles that we saw on the highs. Interestingly, the low tops are a quick strike, whereas the highs are not a quick strike, but I'm not sure that one was more rare than the other. I just think that maybe they had more space on the box of the low and just threw in quick strike. But it's weird that these four shoes would come as a part of the same pack, and some would be quick strikes and others wouldn't be quick strikes. I really like the low top. I like the white midsole. I think it's a cleaner look than the gum midsole. I'm much more of a fan of Dunk SB lows than highs in general, so it's not really a surprise that I would veer towards this shoe over the high top. Something else that's cool about both of these shoes is actually they're one of a kind. Like if you match up other pairs of Dunk SB highs or Dunk SB lows, they don't always match each other. You can see that the left shoe is different than the right shoe in each case, and when you bring in other pairs, they're even more different, which is a cool little touch to know that your pairs are unique, or at least kind of unique. Here's the low top. Let's turn it around to the side, and the high top. That way we can sort of compare the way the midsoles look. I just think it looks cleaner with the white midsole on here than with the gum midsole. But, you know, the choice is yours. Some people like highs, some people like lows. Anyway, I remember thinking that these shoes were crazy, that they were pricing them different at $108 and $98. Now, like I said, the highs and the lows are $150 and $135. Next thing you know, the people at Nike are going to be charging people with bigger feet more money for their shoes. Watch, like the size 13s will cost $5 more than the size 12. You never know. If they could get away with it, you know they'd do it. Anyway, it's been a pleasure walking you through these two Hacky Sack Dunks. Who knows what they've got in store for 420 this year. Hopefully it'll be something cool.